Hello, I'd like to talk to you about garlic mustard. I have a lot of it in my garden, and it's April 7th, and I'd like to show you their stage of growth. Garlic mustard is considered a weed, in fact an invasive one. And as you can see, that's just the side of the property. And the first time that I came across of the plant, it was right around here, and I took it to the university extension to get it identified, and they told me that it was a weed, an invasive one. But then after researching it, I know that it is edible. So I like to add it to my salad, and I cook it as well, like spinach, something that will require spinach or that will call for spinach, for example. I can add it to it. So I froze about 1 gallon bags of it, and I add it to soups during winter time. And as you can see, usually it starts growing in fall, but will stay alive through winter. We live in zone 5A, and in spring that will just start growing very fast. So at this stage, I could easily harvest it if I'm making a salad, but I have not started making salad yet. And they'll grow tall and set seed. And after this area, maybe a mistake that I made is I spread the seed in my garden as well. And you can see them here growing. Pretty much easy to harvest. I can just snatch this bunch if I was making a salad or I'm cooking something that requires some greens. Can just snap it. Because they are even soft, very young, that's the right time to eat them raw. I can just wash it, chop it up, and add it to what I'm cooking. So I'm just going to show you few areas they have been growing in the garden. And their seeds, I believe, are edible as well. So you could grind it to have, like, you can use it like mustard seed pretty much. The leaves has a slight taste of garlic. Maybe that's why it's called garlic mustard. But you can pretty much see here, this side of the garden is fenced. But pretty much you can see them, that's the green on the ground all the way. And you can see it here as well. And last year, they can get you close to it. They grew around a tree that pretty much not much grow around that tree, and they did well. And as you can see, this one, for example, it is like if they start to set seed. Do you see it? So it's like this one is going to start flowering pretty soon. At least that's the impression I'm having. Because I have it in a lot of places in the garden, I just, like, is this area of the garden around this gigantic tree. Not much grow here beside this flower, I don't know what kind of flower it is. It was here before we purchased the place, and this area was full of those greens, garlic mustard last year, and I let it go to seeds. And you can, while we are talking about it, let me show you. Those are the stalks from last year. This one, for example, it does that. So it'll have those it'll have small, it'll have those, I don't know if they're called pads or what, but yeah, the seed is very, the seeds are very small. And I have, you know, the branches from last year here that I have not chopped yet. And they are pretty much here because they grew in that area last year and they went to seed. They pretty much, the seed pretty much flew here, but they usually grow here anyway. So that's one of the greens that I know that I don't have available in my garden. That's a weed, invasive, but once again I eat it, so it's a food, it's a green in my garden. And when I have too many, or it start flowering, I might chop some and just mulch the ground with it. And you can see them here, and they are just spreading in the garden. So the more I have, the more I eat it as well. And last year, I even froze a gallon bag of it. So that's garlic mustard. I don't really bother weeding it out of my garden because that would be a lot of work trying to fight it. That's edible. And if you look it up, I'm sure that'll have a lot of nutrient as well. So that's something I don't have to force around it to make it grow. So it's not an annual, it's a perennial or a biennial. I think is it. I don't know, whatever that is. No, in fact, it's not a perennial. It's just an annual that self-sow. Is it right? Or maybe a biennial. I will say that's a biennial because the seed in fall will fall in the ground like in late summer, and then will sprout right around fall, but will stay alive through winter and continue to grow in spring, flower, set seed. So that's a biennial. So that's something in my garden that I don't force around to make it grow, and that's food right there. Even when the plant set seed, I still eat the leaves. I just don't eat it raw. I will add it to what I'm cooking. So that's free food right there. But just keep in mind that it can take over your garden if you let it. Thank you for watching. I'm Alliaria Liberman, creators of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel and owners of Nina's Soap. And our website is ninasoap.com. I have it in a lot of places in the garden because year after year it just kept spreading. And when I first started, it was probably in 2015. And I pretty much let it grow. But I think when I spread the seeds in the garden is when I gave them free range to take over. And that's a free mulch as well, because when they are on my way, I can easily cut them and just let them break down on the ground. They don't seem to bother what I'm growing. But once again, I don't grow a lot of annuals. So there is not much here for competition. Most of them are perennial, and they all stand their ground. Thank you.